Coming up on Look Today, well, the Saratoga track season officially comes to a close with a record number of attendees. I've got details. And Skidmore College in Saratoga Springs holds orientation for its incoming students. More on that coming up. And Nina's Sweet Shop in Lake George celebrates its 60th anniversary. I've got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program, I sit down with Gerard Moser. He's a Republican candidate for the 113th Assembly District. He's here to talk about his 2016 campaign. Plus, I also sit down with Cindy Sherwood. She's a VP of Development for the Glens Falls Hospital, and we're joined by Diane Kirchner and Terry Celadon. They are from the Snuggery of Glens Falls Hospital, and they're here to talk about raising funds for renovations. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, Labor Day was the official last day of the Saratoga track season. This year marked the second consecutive year that attendance exceeded 1 million people for the whole season, slightly surpassing last year's numbers. And you might recall the horse Arrogate won the big race on Traverse Day. Jockey Jose Ortiz won the Saratoga riding title with 65 victories. Now, in addition to the racetrack season, the 2016 Saratoga Horse Show raised funds that went to over 30 charities. We spoke to Tom Fuston. He's the president of the Capital Fund of the Saratoga County about plans for next year's show.
Well, this year was a great year. Next year we'd like to continue that process. We're hoping that we can be back over in the Yaddo grounds for next year. We've been there for the last 35 years. And to do a show here, I know Yaddo's planning on some things there, but we're hoping that we'll come through and we'll be able to continue our residency over there at that location.
In other news, well, Skidmore College, located in Saratoga Springs, is preparing for another school year. Ranked 38th in the nation, the university specializes in arts related to curriculums with an emphasis on creative thought. Orientation took place over the weekend where freshman students could meet with peer mentors. Well, we were at the event and we spoke to Bella Bennett. She's a peer mentor about this kind of orientation.
We're all students, but we're peer mentors, so we came early to get trained on how to best help freshmen integrate into the Skidmore community.
Well, somebody's happy. Switching from news to weather. Today saw temperatures in the mid-70s. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, we're going to head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast. Back to the news. Nina's Sweet Shop in Lake George celebrated 60 years of business. Now, Nina's Sweet Shop in Lake George is the original candy store. Patty Kirkpatrick remembers when her grandmother opened the store 60 years ago. So we spoke to Patty about the anniversary.
What's been most important to me in the last 10 years is how many families return to the store as part of their family tradition. I have people come in and say, my parents brought me here when I was a child, and now we're here with our children and our grandchildren.
Happy anniversary to everyone at Nina's. In other news, well, new bridge over the feeder canal on Maple Street in Hudson Falls has opened. The bridge was closed for 2 months while the replacement was built. The State Department of Transportation oversaw the project, which was completed on time. Well, the bridge over the feeder canal on Route 4 is scheduled for a replacement later this month. Up next, I sit down with Gerard Moser. He's a Republican candidate for the 113th Assembly District. He's here to talk about his campaign. Plus, I also sit down with Cindy Sherwood. She's the Vice President of Development for the Glens Falls Hospital. And we're joined by Diane Kirchner and Terry Celadon. They're from the Snuggery of Glens Falls Hospital. They're here to talk about raising funds for renovations. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. Well, you know that Tuesday after Labor Day, we're all back in the trenches. Everybody gets serious about fourth quarter. If you're in business, you know what I mean. And if you're kids, you got to go back to school, high school, college, back in the trenches. It was a great weekend, though, wasn't it? So a couple of lookouts. First one is the weather. My wife and I, we just couldn't believe the weather all weekend long. It was gorgeous. And everybody was in a great mood. We went to the Hague Firehouse restaurant for dinner. Great spot in Hague. And Sherry and Chris were there. It was just a terrific time. And also, we launched Play-by-Play. Everybody here at Look Media looks forward to Play-by-Play every year. And this game was Chalmont versus Schuylerville, and Schuylerville won. And they were kind of the underdogs in this game. It was close. It was 35-26. Really, really good game. Catch it if you can. And last but not least, you may notice that I'm not wearing my glasses. Well, it's ugly. It's about 6 in the morning. I'm wandering around the house, getting up early, and crunch, stepped on them. Didn't just pop the lens out, managed to crush them. Took them to the place, and they said, "What did you do?" I thought it was better that I just didn't explain what happened. Tonight on Look TV, it's Queensbury Town Board meeting. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.